Good morning, everybody. I wanted to go ahead and let you know I just went ahead and started recording the meeting. So that'll pop up here in a second. And I think there are people that were trying to come in, but hopefully they got in. All right. Sounds good. Thanks. All right. Okay. So I wanted to just let you guys welcome to Book Creator, the Brew Crew. Ms. McNeil, Mr. Henricks, and Miss Minibar have organized this for all of us and have enlisted me to nerd out on Book Creator with you all. So I hope you guys are excited because I love Book Creator. And I have with me in just a second, you'll see. So this is the summer learning series that they have been working on. And today, like I said, is Book Creator and using Book Creator in the EC classroom. I work as an extended content standards teacher at Triple S, been there for about 22 years. And so this has just been added fun to this school year, this past school year. So your buddies today are going to be me. And of course, I have my social emotional support teenager, Carla, with me. Carla has been on this ride with Book Creator, and her partner Nathaniel is typically with us, but he actually is working. So he was not able to join us today. But Carla, do you want to say hi to everybody?
Hello, good morning, and thank you so much for joining.
Yay. Carla's awesome. She's doing all the cool things. She's working, she's volunteering, she's resting. So thank you, Carla, for helping. And she's going to be in the chat to make sure that we don't miss any questions or concerns. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen all these apps that we get to use. I know for me, 2020 was the one of like, all right, here's all these things. And since then, things have just expanded and really have been amazing for our students. Again, I told you how old I am and how they always talked about don't teach your kids how to use a calculator. You'll never have one all the time. Well, they do. And so let's show them how to use the calculator and all the other fun technology things. And Book Creator is how you can integrate all those cool things. So it's using News to You, it's using Kahoot, any of the other apps you're using, and it just kind of you're going to hear this word a lot from me, but unify all these different apps together and do something really cool with it. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. So the agenda is I'm just going to kind of give you a brief intro to Book Creator and how Carla and I and the rest of our little group at school have gotten into it and how we got suckered into using it and have fell in love with it. Brief tutorial on how to use Book Creator. Very easy to use, very easy to pick up. We didn't do any specific lessons on how to use it. You just kind of click buttons and you figure it out, and it's been great. Then, of course, the bulk of the meeting is going to be the accessibility features. What does Book Creator offer to support our students with disabilities? A lot of the examples you're going to see, of course, are going to be geared towards students with intellectual disabilities, just because that's my experience. But then also, you can see how it can be geared for so many other types of learners, and including English language learners. So that is some really cool stuff there as well. Talk about some differentiation. You know, I have 7 students, but I have 7 very different learners. And so how can we use Book Creator and that same structure for all of those learners? And it is very doable and very nice and clean. And go into collaboration will be next. And that is where we'll talk about how you can use the tool to collaborate, even when you might not need certain students sitting next to each other because they might not be able to handle the stimulation of being right next to each other physically, but they can still work together on making cool creations and products. And then, of course, social inclusion, which is always my favorite thing. And you will not ever give me the opportunity to talk where I don't bring up Special Olympics and Unified. So this is going to be that plug there. And Carla's going to give us her input on social inclusion and how that has impacted her and her relationship with her partner, Nathaniel. And then finally, we'll reflect on Book Creator and how can we move this forward in our area and our community for our students, and just how can we use it in our classroom, even if we just do it on a small scale. So here we go. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my experience. I don't know if it's going to pop up. It might.
Grew up some learning for something new. Ideas are steaming, freshly brewed for
I love
you.
the little song that it's playing.
Pull up the chair, we've saved you a view.
All right.
It's grounds for growth with the one and only Brew Crew.
All right, so it should be good. Sorry about that. But I've known Kay for many years, and one of her sons was in my class, and so she approached me about this app, and so I thought it was super cool. And we worked alongside, she and I, and she showed me and kind of kept me on task on how to keep this going. We had quite an interesting year at Triple S with scheduling and such. So that probably led our project to being a 1-month project into pretty much a good chunk of the year. But it didn't have to be. It was just, like I said, scheduling on our end. So what ended up happening is we've got these two pairs right here, and then we had another pair that were kind of our pilot group, and you'll see some examples of their books in a little bit. And then they were given the opportunity to present at the NC Ties conference, and so that was really cool. Again, plug from Unified, because they were excited about it. They supported that and allowed us to transport those guys up there. So again, a whole conglomeration of support. All right, so you can get to Book Creator on ClassLink. You can get to it by clicking bookcreator.com. And we are going to go ahead and move over to Book Creator and start working on some. So this is the link to the library, and Carla's going to put the link in the chat, if you don't mind, Carla, if you haven't already. And then get you guys over there, and I'll meet you over there. All right. And Carla, can you put there it is. Nope, not that one. Can you put the actual link to the whole Book Creator thing in there? I know you got the code. Thank you, ma'am. And that will just bring us right on to, so you can just click that link right there that she put in there for you. So I'm going to share this with you, and you're going to see that a bunch of books are going to show up. I am curious though, if everybody is seeing all the books, or are you just seeing 2 copies? If you want to put in the chat, let me know, because I'm curious. I've seen it. So I know enough about Book Creator to be dangerous. And I know when I played around it with my students, there is a way to get it to where they only see their book in the library. So, okay, perfect. So some of y'all only see just a couple. You can make it so the kids can all see everybody's books too, if you want to. So there is that option as well. So I'm going to try not to click in the wrong book. And I try to remember that by looking and seeing these are my master books right there. Okay. And so these are everybody else's. So I just click those little buttons right there and I can see that that's Miss Thompson Dawes. So there's her book. And you're going to see as we go through that there are going to be 2 different ways that you can assign books. But for now, we will start getting into the basic how-tos. Okay. And hopefully y'all can see that pretty good. Make it larger. Okay. So I just kind of went through the biggest thing about Book Creator is these 2 buttons right up top, the plus and the I button, inspector button, whatever you want to call it. But this is what Book Creator is. It is just a creation tool that combines multimedia and amazing accessibility features to get student creativity and engagement. It is a great learning tool. They can be interactive with it, or it can be just for them to read and access books. So it's kind of however works best for you and your students. It is really cool that you get to be very creative, but that at the same time, it gives you a really nice structure. So that way it's overwhelming. Okay. So again, that plus button and then that I button. Under the plus button, you'll see it's just 3 drop downs: tools, media, and apps. And that's it. And then you can have fun with those three drop downs. Honestly, I learned by just clicking and playing around with it. And you can do very simple things with your students. And then as they get more comfortable with it, then you can add more fun things to it. So depends on your student technology abilities, honestly. And then sometimes, of course, the students aren't necessarily accessing this for creation themselves. We're actually, as staff, putting their information in. And then I will say it has also been very helpful for having my staff work with Book Creator. We've had at Triple S, we all transition students between all 3 classes, and we see all the students from all the different levels. And we also work with all the teacher assistants. And so teacher assistants ranging from age 22 to over 60, and they have all been able to access Book Creator and use it for students. So that has been really nice as well. So it's not just for our students' ease of use, but it's also for staff ease of use, because you don't really have time to sit there and explain to staff, this is how you do something. You just kind of, at least I don't. So we just had the opportunity just to jump in. And the I button kind of gives you a little bit more details on how to work with those images, how to decorate your page, change your text, any of that good stuff. They've got one of the big things that Book Creator uses a lot is comics. They like the comic template quite a bit. So you'll see some of that. I haven't used that quite as much. I think that just gets a little bit too much visually, but I can definitely see the benefits of it for some other folks. So I want you to play around for just a minute, and you should have your own book. And I want you to use the tools to fill out the graphic organizer. And I gave an example right there. And then you just use to go to the tools, go to the text, and just add a fact that you've learned so far about Book Creator in the last, 10 minutes. So I'll give you guys just a second to do that. And then I'll probably, just because I can, go and look and see who can I pick on. I can't really see anybody's name so much. I'll try and see if I can pick somebody that I somewhat know. All right, Miss Hopkins, I'm going to jump on yours because you went in the chat too and see if you did it. And just see, I can access her stuff right now. And so she's got that right there. That's her book. Okay. So I can go in at any point and see anybody's work. Okie doke. So, all right. So it's pretty easy. Plus text, and then you can, nice thing, just click right in that box. Sometimes you can't, sometimes it'll pop up. Book Creator has read aloud feature. And you didn't necessarily learn that in the last 10 minutes, but you will. So there is that in there. Next, your next page on page 6, you've got a blank page, and I challenge you to go to the media tab and go to templates, and there are tons of templates for you to look through. You just click down, and we'll go into some of this a little bit more. You can make portfolios. You can have different layouts, themes. Again, there's the comic book theme. Also, more high school age. If you want to go that route, you have more historical and more, boring ones, but newspaper, photo books, a yearbook, a book. So lots of cool things on that end. Okay. If somebody would be willing to go in the chat and maybe offer to share your page, that would be awesome. And then in just a minute at 9:17, I'll give you guys until, and then we'll let, awesome, someone sent me one. And at 9:17, I'll let Carla do this next part, okay? Here's a fun example. Just a template. You didn't even have to do anything. It was just a template. So it's kind of nice to be able to pull that out. Okay. All right. Carla, you want to go ahead and jump on?
Hi. It's actually not letting me edit the basic how-to book.
This one? Okay. So I can go into yours.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I can pull that up.
Okay.
Because the reason she can't get into it is because I did not allow her to collaborate. So when I go here and I have this assignment, I can either do assign or I can click collaborate, which we'll go to in a little bit. So we'll talk about the fun parts of all of that. And so, Carla, I'm going to see if I can find your book. Whoops. That is one of there are some little funky things about Book Creator, I will admit, I can't necessarily see. I'm sure there's a way to do it. Like, watch, if I just click this, I bet I can find it. Oh, you have no books, Carla.
Yeah.
So let's see. So we'll just let you talk through. How's that sound?
All right.
Does that sound good?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I just found a trick. And I didn't even know that was there. See,
Oh, there we go.
All right. So I'm going to put you there. As you talk, I'll do the adding. How's that sound?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So my experience with Book Creator, last school year, Miss Bethany Jones, she approached me and was like, I have this nice project with Miss Manjawar, and we are like you and your unified pair, which is Nathaniel. We were going to collaborate and create our own book reflecting our friendship. And I thought it was a very amazing idea because I had been getting to know Nathaniel throughout the school year. And so I figured it was a nice way to reflect our friendship and who we are. And then Book Creator has all these easy to use tools like they have all these easy to use tools available that just make the experience so much easier. So we created our book and we presented at the NC Ties conference alongside Miss Jones and Miss Manuar. And we did really well. So I think it was one of the best parts about Book Creator is that you can work on it like anywhere. And Nathaniel and I had very different schedules, but we were still able to find time after school together to collaborate on this. And then we were still able to go in on our own individually outside of school and work on it and add our own different stuff to it. So I thought that was really neat. And then there goes Miss Jones doing her little drawing.
All kinds of fun things. All right, thanks. So you guys can take a second, and you're not necessarily going to see this on your end. You would have to go into, as the teacher, you would have to go into their particular book. And then you could just add some feedback. So you go to the plus, you go to apps, and there's some feedback stickers. And students are not able to see those, I've noticed. So you just would have access. That's something at a bonus that teachers get to do. So they get their virtual sticker to add. So feel free to look through that. And this last little page of our basic how-tos is the, I was able to, probably my favorite thing is now I get to embed websites and videos. I like to have it to where the students can't access the entire internet at one time. So I get to share what they get exposed to. So this in particular is the different website resources that are available. So you just click right on there and it'll take you directly to Book Creator and their website. And there's lots of cool things. Okay. All right. And we will go back to the library. And the next portion that I want to go to is the accessibility book. So if you guys want to either look through here or before I go on, I do want to do one more quick thing to let y'all know. I think it's going to mess me up, but you notice I had the little purple stars. I'll give you an example of one. Let me go through that. There's a purple star right there that I have added kind of on the outside on some of the pages. Those of you that fill out those or do those challenges or whatever, Book Creator sent some swag. And so I would love to share that with you all. So when I see how you guys play with it, of course, incentivize you guys coming on your summer, it might be kind of fun to get some cool swag. So they sent some stickers and pins and pens. So wanted to share that with you all. So this accessibility book is where I'm going to spend a chunk of the time. And then the other 3 sections are going to be just examples and kind of future thoughts on how to use Book Creator in our classroom and then even beyond. You will see that these little circles with squiggles is where I just used the Canva app because I couldn't get the squiggle I liked because I'm a little bit particular about that kind of stuff. You're going to see those on different ones. And that's me just using, I tried very hard to use all of the apps features that we have available in the premium pilot version. So that is for the whole thing, not the free option that is available. So, all right. So right here for the accessibility, I went to the AI image generator and I just typed into some cool words and typed in what I wanted to put on there. Again, because I'm particular, I just took and picked a, any kind of style of something I had on my computer and plugged it in. I took a ULS, a symbol sticks symbol, and put it in there, and it copied that same style. So I thought that was kind of neat to kind of keep it cohesive. So this is an example of a book to show some of the accessibility. And again, this is just, don't judge me too harshly on some of these books, but this is one that I used with a particular student. I talked to his mom. She said it was okay to share with you all, because this one definitely had some personal pieces to it. The feature that I used was Google Maps. And if you can see, we can just click, if it'll let you, go into the map to find Meadow Lights. So that was the topic of this book. And you'll see that I clicked it, and this book is published. And so that's why it comes up in this view. I can't edit it anymore. I can just view it. And I can have it read to me. And so I'll have it read.
Purpose, overview, family engagement, video provided by parent, allowed for communication between family and school.
And you'll notice it's not perfect. It'll not read it the way you necessarily would want it to be read. We'll get into a little tip there in a minute when we get into another part. So this was his particular book. You can see I just was able to take the symbol stick symbol. I downloaded that from News2You, and I was able to upload it and put it in. So that's the word that we were using, and he was able to use from his device. So that was very cohesive. Again, I love being able to edit the stuff to make it so it's actually geared for that particular student. And I don't have to, literally cut and paste or use something that maybe they've not generalized quite yet. So we are working on verbs and him learning a little bit of flexibility and learning how to wait for Christmas. So he is one that, loves to anticipate any fun activities with Christmas and Special Olympic Spring Games was the other one. So wanted to get him some sort of something to get him acclimated to having to wait. And we learned that we found this app on the iPad, and it's a countdown. As long as he saw numbers moving, he knew that he still had time to wait, and that was okay. And so then his mom sent a video of him. I was able to take that video and embed it right into the book. And that has engaged him, and now I'm about that verb for him. And in the edit version of the book, he was able to grab the images. And again, I took those out of symbol sticks. And just he was able to grab and then he was able to, type in what he wanted. He got to add the images, whatever he wanted to do. And he was so excited, and he chose his image there at the end. Just again, it was something that we were able to use for him to engage him and to allow him to access something in a realistic way. So the great thing about Book Creator is it's very well designed, very easy to use. It's not overwhelming. I absolutely love Canva. I've gotten to love Kahoot this year, but it's very visually overwhelming for some of our students. And so, and then honestly, for me, as I'm trying to design things for them, I just want them to focus on the important information.
And Anthony, I think we have a question from Ms.
Okay.
Burris. Would you like to turn on your mic and
Okay.
Ms. Burris?
Thanks.
And to be able to say, okay, put them on scan, and here's assignment would
All right.
remove the reason I never.
I'm
really-
sorry. I did that by mistake. No question.
Oh, okay.
No worries.
No worries. I'm just gonna keep flowing. Y'all gotta stop me if you need something. Sorry. All right. So one of the things I have not been doing on the screen showing you, and I should have because I do it a lot when I'm creating the things, but I forget to half the time, is I just click pages and now I can see all the pages at one time. And I can drag them and move them in a different order, which is easy for my brain and other brains as they create things to kind of help with organization. It's not having to fumble with papers and staples and all that kind of good stuff. It's easy to reorganize. Okay. You can share the book in different ways. You can assign it, you can publish it, you can collaborate, which we'll get to. I love that you can print them. And so then you can carry them with you on, you know, I can send that book home with Santi and he can take it when he goes and gets prepared for Christmas lights next year, because I have a feeling we're going to be having the same issue next year about waiting for Christmas. So I have that now in my toolbox for him and we'll be able to use it, and I'm not going to lose it and not try and figure out where I put it, because that happens to me a lot. It's all in my lovely library. So, which is nice to see. All right. So I'm going to go back to pages. Easy to use. Again, there's the library. I'm just going to show you a screen share that I had done. Click a new book. You pick what template or what book you want. I didn't even show it, but you could pick the template right then and there if you didn't want to go into the templates. There's so many different ways to access it, but regardless, it's relatively easy. It's not a lot of sidebar things, not too many choices, which I know sometimes gets overwhelming. And then our app feature, which I thought was really cool. It's 3D, which is, this one's kind of a boring one because it's, I wanted it to match the theme, but they have tons of, animals. They had one of Albert Einstein. There's so many different 3D models that you can look at. So you go to apps, 3D models, and there's just lots of cool things. So again, just clicking and seeing what you can find. The kids would have so much fun taking a look at some of that. Oh, I got it way upside down. But how cool. All right. Probably the biggest thing, and I honestly take this for granted. I was doing the presentation. I was like, oh my goodness, I forgot to mention that it reads aloud. Like, to me, that's just a given. But it reads everything aloud. It's great. So if you look, once I click a text and you see that little button,
Read aloud.
it can do it individually, or it can read the whole book in that option where I showed you earlier what was read to me. The Google Drive feature, I learned this one yesterday and I was kind of excited about it because doing this presentation helped me learn how to use so many different things. So in the Google Drive feature, you just take whatever you already have in Google Drive, because you're already using this stuff, I'm sure. You've already got stuff left over. You can just upload it into Book Creator, and now the students can access it. And so there are the steps on how to do it. And then I can turn it into it being read aloud to them. So I had this worksheet that I had, and, I had to have an adult sit there and read it aloud.
Steps in a process, plus icon, the steps to adding a Google document.
But now if I'm dealing with another student with behavior or whatever else, that student can still continue working. I will say it will read everything. So including your, I'm going to go and kind of show you the example into the one I was playing around with on the edit. So when you go here, it's going to even read your copyright stuff. So be careful. So what you can do is once you get it to read for you is you scan it for text, and it's going to scan it. And then, of course, it's a little bit, it's going to call me a backward, upside down J, but
Which is your favorite? White, sword, 1-800-697-6575. Copyright 2025 N2Y, LLC, all rights.
so all you got to do is just go here. You go crop image, crop all that extra stuff that you don't want on there, and then press play again.
Which is your favorite? White, sword.
And now they can have it read aloud to them. And then added bonus, if you go into your pen tool, they can pick their option. And then I have it. And it's their options. And they're working independently. So I thought that was really fun. So I'm going to go back. I have lots of libraries because I am ridiculous. So let me go back here. So many fun things. Another great one that I kind of take for granted is the speech to text. And this tool is great for those that like to ask, how do you spell this? How do you spell that? They just have to talk into it. Or if their handwriting is not something that they're able to functionally hold a pencil, they can still access this. Not being able to use a mouse or the keyboard, they can use the speech to text feature. And you just go here, you go to text, and there's your little microphone. This feature will type what it hears. And then click done, and there you go. So I did the screenshot video in there if you want to. Same thing with images. If you want to search for an image, you can go here. I don't know how to spell dictionary. Dictionary. And then it will find it for me, find some images for me to choose from. One of the cool things, these are all free to use. You know, you can also scroll all the way down and you can try the Google search, which then you're going to have some copyright stuff. So just be careful with that. Okay, so that's the speech to text feature, and that is phenomenal. And those to me are just the two most basic ones. And the other ones we're going to get into are more of your fancy ones and are fun, but these are huge in my classroom. The app I used was the Bitmoji because, of course, why not? You can just add your own Bitmoji to it. So let's see. This feature right here proves amazing for not just EC students, but your English language learners. This thing translates in all these different languages. If I'm not mistaken, about 130. So using your little Giphy feature, I don't know what it's called, then you just go here and there, and you have so many to choose from. There are stickers, all that good stuff. But not to take away from the translation portion, I will say this saved me so much this school year. It allowed me to communicate with one of my students when I did not have the staff. Throughout the year, sometimes I had staff to support his language, and sometimes I did not. And so this allowed me to still communicate with him and still have him feel like he's part of the class and doing all the things that everybody else is doing. So simply by going into the text, you type something here and click that translate button, and you pick whatever language it is that is needed. We also use this when we were doing a country research project. So whatever country that they were working on, they had to find out what language it was, and then they had to translate thank you into whatever language it was. For instance, one of the students really likes Chinese, and so it'll translate, done, and it'll even speak it for you. So that has been great. Again, I had a Spanish-speaking student. I can translate by having the student talk, and then in their native language, and then I'm able to, for the most part, depending on their articulation, able to have it translate and transcribe. So you can translate text in many different ways in many different languages.
Puedes traducir texto de muchas maneras diferentes y a muchos idiomas diferentes.
يمكنك ترجمة النص بعدة طرق مختلفة ولغات مختلفة.
And you can do that by just adding a transcript. And that part is, I kind of showed you right there, is you add your transcript to your voice recording that you already did. So you do your recording, and then it always says 3, 2, 1, which I love. Hello. Use recording. It pops up. Hello. And I go to my I button. I can add my transcript. I'm going to generate it, or I can type it in myself. And now I can go and change. Well, this is the button that I don't use very often. Let's see. Translate. There it is, right there. So now I can pick whatever language, even just by talking into it. Let's do Korean. And you can choose male or female voices.
안녕하세요.
And very much easier than me going between 2 different apps on the phone, on, personal phones and all that different thing. I was able to use Book Creator and use the school's computer to pop this stuff up. Finally, the biggest thing about Translate is you can translate the entire book in another language. So this is the book right here. Even that page that we have where we had typed in some text, it also translated as well. So your images, it will not translate. And I did a lot of screenshots, so that's why those didn't translate, but your text will translate. And you can also turn your scan into text like we did on the Google Drive. And then if you really wanted to, I'm sure you could play around and figure that out. Okay. Graphic organizers are a great accessible piece. You can see all the different versions when you go through there. Auto draw, again, a nice fun one is all you got to do is go into the plus, go into your pen, click auto draw, and you start drawing whatever you want. And you can see at the top of the screen, it assumes what you're drawing. And that has been really nice. So it will pick up on whatever you're wanting to draw. And it doesn't have to be the most artsy thing. So your challenges that I wanted you guys to do is use some of those accessibility features or apps and fill in that graphic organizer. And let's see, we got about 20 minutes or so. I still wanted to go over a couple more things. So I'm going to give you guys just a couple minutes to kind of play around with that if you'd like. And then if you had any questions while you're doing it, can go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to get us prepared for the next book. Okay. And again, I can't see anybody's particular book unless I go in to this part and I can kind of check and see where everybody is. And again, when I can send some swag your way, if you want to make sure on one of your books, you just put what school you're in and I can courier when school gets back in, if you don't mind waiting. Okay. All right. So I'll give you just like one more minute and then I'm going to take us on to differentiation and how we can use Book Creator, and all this kind of ties in together. all the different accessibility and collaboration, working together, working for individualized goals. It all kind of just encompasses our EC classrooms, from the little guys to the big guys. You can use it in inclusion classrooms. It just may look a little bit different than what I'm showing you today just because of my experiences. But there's definitely ways to play around and use all these cool things. And right now we do have the whole thing. And I know that that is something that would love to be continued, and they're working on it. The subscription to the app will be finalizing here in the next couple of weeks. However, hopefully we can get it to stay. So, and let's see. All right. So going into differentiation, I wanted to talk a little bit. Those of you who are in middle school and high school, ECS have been hearing about the career development plan. And so I wanted to just touch base on how our school has been able to do it. Like I said, there's 3 of us over there that have been there this past school year. And so taking what is now required and then seeing how we can make it so that the students can have some onus on it. So the differentiation portion, I did the different books. I like to color code just because that helps me know which group, but here's the combined book all together. Some of the students we needed to work as a group, and then some of them we would do individually. So not so much gluing and cutting, and they got their ownership as the author. So this person right here, these are his notes. That was just some text that I had added. Again, it's kind of hard to find books offering job descriptions that are available for students with intellectual disabilities. My students are not going to become doctors and those things. So now I need to kind of individualize and find out what are some jobs that they will be able to do and that they will be interested in. So this particular one was about a caregiver. And this is my student Elijah, and he wants to help old people. And so he was able to.
My name is Elijah. I'm 16.
And so he's able to, write his own book. And he chose his 3 words. He chose a cane as his tool that he would use. And he does a lot with the talk to text, the speech to text. But then also I wanted him to talk.
I like to help people to push old people on a wheelchair.
Hey! And then you can hear his little buddy in the background because that's fun. It will hear everything. And so then at the end of the product, I wanted them to kind of take a reflection. I just took a quick graphic organizer. It was already done. And he just got to circle his options. And then they did present this in class. And so we put this up on the smart board. And then that's where I was prompting him to, ask his friends for any questions. If I was really good, I would have videoed their actual presentation. I could have added that to the book, and I would have a complete portfolio of their product. And then again, I like to kind of control where they access on the computer. And so this was a book, again, I just kind of making it a little bit more, this is what our students will potentially be able to do just based on previous students and their job. Having a student that's worked as a laundry attendant, I didn't realize that was one. So I was able to make the rubric for his presentation, and I was able to grade him so I don't forget how well he did. Here is this fella. He absolutely loves doing this by himself.
My name is Darren.
And he uses his device to communicate. And so he has figured out that if he just times it, One of the really cool things that you saw on the record part is it does the 3, 2, 1. So it gives you a little bit of time. And I don't know about your students, but that is definitely something easily understood that you got just a couple seconds to get prepared. So he was able to type that he wants to work at Walmart.
Box.
And then you can see we just kind of differentiated. And so he would like to work at Walmart as a stock clerk, and he wants to work so he can buy Fritos, which if any of y'all know that buddy, that is pretty huge. So, oh, Fritos. And then this last one was another group that he was able to access some of this stuff, but the actual adding images was going to require quite a bit of support from staff. And so,
my name is Jason Nathaniel Spivey.
And so we used images. We just took some photos that I had been taken during class time. So they had to do different jobs, and then just being exposed to some of those different opportunities, again, so that they can kind of see what it was that they liked. And then I can take notes on whether or not they were engaged in that particular activity or not. Okay. So I think that is a great opportunity for our career development plans, which I think are a phenomenal idea to prepare our students. All I did here was take that download that we were sent, that we were emailed, and I just uploaded it directly into Book Creator. And it has been so cool. All I have to do, and I can see, I just added in there. I was able just to add my own text, and I can now put it on there as another plug for this. This is not a binder that I have to keep up with from middle school to high school. It's on the computer, and it'll be really easy to transition between classes and schools, and if a student moves. So I thought Book Creator just seemed to be a really great solution. So you're hearing it here. It's my 2 cents. So here is your challenge. So how can you differentiate learning in your classroom? And those are the different tools that I challenge you to play around with and use. And there we go there. And collaboration is the other, section I wanted to go through. And then I'm going to let Carla finish us off. So collaboration is, again, some of these students are going to need to work together, but they may not be able to sit next to each other. So it was great. I will say, use this with caution. We did this for a fun little activity. I put it on the smartboard. I didn't show you this thing, but it is very important with our guys is to lock your images and lock your text. They were moving this stuff around and they thought it was hilarious. They're up on the screen, and Miss Wilhelm, I thought I saw you in the chat. She can attest to how silly, I think our lesson went strictly away from what they did for spring break into how can we get everybody off track. So again, my name is
The man.
Able to get him to talk. I wish I would have gotten, some more family input, because I did find out he went to Universal Studios over spring break after the fact. But they were just able to find their own images. And so that was kind of fun. And see if you can find Nathaniel in all the different pictures, because they just take the picture right there in class, which is nice. They don't have to upload anything. You can upload, but you don't have to, which has been nice. All right. So my challenge to you is to insert a video, add it to this page here, and you guys should all be able to. I see you guys popping in on here. So that, how would you make this a better book, or how would you use collaboration? While I've got you on here, so I can see we've already got some people popping in, and it's in real time. I have it locked. If it was unlocked, anybody could go in there and just move stuff, which is what my students were doing, and they thought it was hilarious. So I would suggest locking it. And you just go, you click it, and you click lock, and they cannot touch it. So that was a lesson. And you can select all of it at one time and lock all of it at one time. You cannot select everything and unlock all at one time. So there's that. So the last portion, we got about 5 more minutes. Oh, this is where I wanted to jump in. And here's my plug again for the career development plan. I would love if anybody is interested and willing to see if we can create a career development plan that our students can access. And let's see. And it's editing, and there was one, even if we, take this information that we need to have in there and see if we can make it so they can drag. There's one, you can just snip it and you can drag it in place, and then they're doing it. And again, it's not so cumbersome with staff having to cut everything for those that aren't using scissors safely and such. So I would love that opportunity if anybody is up for it. Let's see. So last one. Again, my final plug for not just Book Creator, but Special Olympics Unified, because that's what I'm going to talk about, is social inclusion. And this is Carla's book. And Carla, I'm going to give you a second if you're good, and let you chat for just a second about your book.
Yes, ma'am. So
And
like I mentioned,
can you access it and turn pages if you need to?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, perfect.
All right. So like I was mentioning before, Nathaniel and I do have different schedules. So as far as like adding pictures in and doing our videos, as you can see, like further down in different pages, we were able to do that on our own. So that was a nice feature. And then even in class after school, we were able to go outside and interview each other about some of our favorite parts of Unified. And what it does is there also is a transcript for the audio. So I thought that was nice. But since Nathaniel and I do learn differently, we found we found parts of Book Creator that we enjoyed the most. So Nathaniel enjoyed our interviews the most because he likes talking and he likes listening back to it. And I personally enjoy adding our favorite photos and videos because I'm a visual person. So that helped us there. And then we were able to create a graphic organizer using the text features and the shape features at the end to kind of put our own spin on how we want to express ourselves. And it was something that both of us enjoyed. And overall, I think that in my experience with Nathaniel, we were able to create a book that really expresses ourselves, even like as people, and then through our friendship. So it was like a nice, and it was very, I know you heard this a lot today, but it was very easy to use, and it just it was so stress-free, and it was just perfect.
And what I really love about it is what Carla may not realize about Nathaniel is he loves to create books and things, and just he's so creative. And so having somebody there to support him and making sure that he was able to get his ideas out and not go down the rabbit hole like his teacher does, and adding all the things. So you were able to help him focus on that. And that has been awesome. So Carla, you're amazing. And I agree, all the people that are talking about how well-spoken you are, Carla, you're amazing. And we want to be just like you when we grow up. So here's my final plug. So I have 2 major challenges, the career development plan, but then also even for our younger guys, here is a source from Special Olympics Unified Young Readers Club. I don't know if anybody's heard of it, but it is a 64-page document. And I just linked it in here, but it's books, and it's got questions and activities and it's just already built in. And what's really cool about it is that QR code sends you directly to the book being read aloud. So you can even just go to that video. I didn't put the link in, but you definitely could. Just put a link in there. You can embed the video. So even if I were to go to, let's see, all of my stripes, read aloud on YouTube, and just go in there. And again, my favorite thing is embedding. I just embed. Oh, you can't hit enter afterward. I did learn that. Confirm and add it. And now I have the book directly linked in, so they can just go ahead and listen to the book. So I've got that in there for you as well. So super easy. That didn't take but 2 seconds. Anyway, just wanted to let you guys see that. And your challenge for that is to add a collaborative page here at the end. And then at the end, we'll have everybody's pages of their stripes. So I know it's homework, but I'll give you a pen and stickers if you want to do it. Anyway, I just know that I myself learn better by doing. And so I wanted to give you guys that opportunity to do that, to where you're not just feel like you're floundering. You got a little bit of structure. So with all that being said, I'm going to send us back to Canva, and you've got the link in, and I need to put this right here.
And one thing I'll share, Bethany, is that I just got a QR code that our participants today can scan to get 6 additional months of premium access in Book Creator. So if I'm going to share that. I'm going to take over the screen from you and then put that up so everybody can scan that right now.
Thanks, Kay. I was a little bit stressing about losing it.
Well, we got this, so we can, you can scan this to get 6 more months of the goodness, and just know we are working diligently to try to find a way to continue to offer this district-wide. But I will say too that while we're working on that, we've got the 6 months here. That's awesome, and the pricing, it's very reasonable. So, if you find this really helpful and you want to use this, share it with your principals too, and we'll continue to share it with principals. That's something that we can, you can have site-based conversations about too, while we work to hopefully be able to find a path forward with us at the district level as well. I think I saw a hand raised. Did you want to just turn on your mic and share?
Hi, this is Gladys Mercado. I made one, like I was trying to go over with a new book, and then I wanted to publish it, like which one I'd like to, which one I would click, the private or public. Like, for example, if we're gonna use this in the classroom, what will we say to our students if they want to publish it?
I typically keep mine at private just because, why not? And you can, when you go on that one how-to page, it will have like a community of people that do have them that you can use, and you can read other people's book creators. So I'm going to see if I can go back and share that with you. So, I guess depending on what it is, but they can still access it even if it's still private. And I honestly have had my students more so do the more on the editing version, so that way they can interact a little bit more. So once you have it published or you're just having it read to you, it's not so, that's not the creative part. That's going to be the book part, which is perfectly great too. So let me go back here. When you go into, so let me go back to this one. And I think I have it in the last page here. And you can go the book creator community. And down there, you should, maybe not. It's somewhere, I promise. you can access. And Kay, you might have a better, I know where it is. It's down, nope. Discover. Maybe that's it.
Tell me again what you're looking for.
There it is. All the different ones that are published.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I haven't gone down this rabbit hole yet, but I will say it's definitely there. And you can go and there's things for different grade levels. That I have not played around with too much, but I'm sure there's so many cool things.
And a lot of those too are set up to allow for remixing. So when you see something that you like, you can remix it to be able to edit it and make it your own or very specific to, what your students need to.
I was looking to see if I can, and you can add one of their books to another book, which I thought was cool. Again, the embed is my favorite. Then there's some different, ideas for them, for students to pull up. And they can, so it's a very.
Somebody's
neat
asking if
product.
you could show the teacher appreciation book.
Oh, yeah. That one was fun. Let's see. Let's see, book creator. All right, so if I go here, our Unified Spartans worked on this, and this was, it was interesting. Here you go, Miss Wilhelm. Here we go. And again, so a student just decided that they were going to do a quote, and Nathaniel, oh my gosh, if y'all just want to be uplifted, you just need to listen to Nathaniel talk. So he's going to change the world. He and Carla together are gonna just move mountains. They already have. This is one I love because again, Miss Wilhelm and Carla can attest is.
We make sure to change your tab too so we can see the tab you're looking at.
Y otras actividades como pintura, arte, educación física, ayuda a los ayudantes, a los españoles, a los cualquier idioma.
Okay. ¿Y qué hacen los maestros cuando tienen su tiempo libre?
Cuando tienen su tiempo libre hacen nuevos trabajos.
Not only did I have the support from, student peers to help me with the language barrier between he and I, but then also I could go back for, reading it, having somebody else help me translate if I needed it. Again, there's Nathaniel in his courtyard interviews. By the grace of God, this young lady actually did hers.
Have a good day.
Have a good day. So that was pretty amazing. Our students were able to get staff support. These guys did it on their own. So you can kind of see this is Darren's. He just wanted to put some pictures in. They used the pen feature. Billy just got to go on and talk about James. We had some partners kind of add some different things. The code for attendance is going to be when you fill out that feedback and the link that I sent. And Carla probably knows how to pin it better than I do, but that document one should be able. Is that right, Kay, to use that?
Yes, the link on if you go back into your Canva presentation you started with, it's that link that if they are on the last slide of your Canva presentation, you can do that, or we can just paste it in the chat too.
Yep, it should be in the chat.
Yep. Might just have to go back up to the top to see it. We can.
Okay.
Still.
Let's see.
I didn't see.
I'll go ahead and put it in there again. But there we go.
Miss Jones, another one, just to confirm, because I just tried something. So I publish it, and then if I wanted to share it with my students, let's say, for example, in my class, so I can either share the link, copy the link, or I can share the code, right?
Yep. And another cool thing too about it is, so when you say, if I were to go here and I wanted to assign a book, so you're in that tab, I'm just gonna pick a random book. When I share it, I can assign it, and when they go into that library, that book automatically pops up like it did for you all.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much, Bethany and Carla. This was so fun.
Thanks. All right.
So, yes, those who attended today's full session, if you are a JCPS employee, we will take care of confirming your attendance in KickUp, but you will still receive your certificate of completion if you just enjoy having that to have. And if you're not a JCPS employee, you can use that to submit to your organization.